Welcome to the pilot episode of Day in the Life. As you all know, my name is Michael and I will be your host. Please join me as we walk through a somewhat typical day in my life. The reason that we're doing this is because with most of the commercial teams remote and a majority, if not all, of the operational and support teams based in the offices in Atlanta and San Francisco, it becomes increasingly easy for us to be disconnected. And it's important that everybody understands the impact that we can all have on our business. So as you can tell, it's early. There's my crew of fellow 5:30 gym goers. I'll catch up with you guys in the airport. I'm going to San Francisco and I can answer the first question at JFK. See you then. Made it to the airport. On the way here, I was thinking about the point of these videos, and I kind of have a blue ocean situation since I'm piloting this. And I realize it's kind of twofold. It's one, walking you through a day in the life, and then two, it's to answer some questions that come in about what that day in the life looks like. So it's about 8:45, and normally at this point in the day, if I'm not traveling, I'll have spent the morning catching up on emails. I don't normally schedule calls before, 8:30 and 9 o'clock in the morning. If they come up, they come up. But I try and keep that time for going through emails, catching up with internal stakeholders on different projects, different initiatives that will ultimately benefit the company, benefit the team, and benefit our clients. So that's where I'm at in my day. The first question that I want to answer, and I'll do my best to keep it brief, is how much time do account managers spend on average with daily operational tasks as compared to upselling? And so this is kind of a philosophical question, to be honest, because in my opinion, everything that we do is upselling, right? And I don't even mean account managers, I mean everyone. Operations, support functions, Hoofddorp, everything that we do ultimately is meant to lead to the longevity of our client relationships, which will allow us to continue to generate revenue and hopefully to generate revenue in addition to the baseline that we have now through different and new products and services. So I don't like to look at the time spent by account managers or by anyone in the organization by kind of differentiating between things that are more administrative in nature, following up and gathering internal resources, and actually upselling. The answer to the question, strictly speaking, is that a very small percentage of the time is actually spent looking at a client and saying, you should now be using this particular payment method, and this is why. Everything that goes into it, from meetings, face-to-face, traveling, working on issues, making sure that they have the best authorization rates possible, making sure that their experience is as optimal as it can possibly be. All of those things go into what ultimately is an upsell, which is our success and our ability to generate revenue on an incremental basis. So that flight took me through the main part of my day, about 9 o'clock in the morning to 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And if I wasn't traveling, that part of the day really would have been spent speaking to people. If you guys haven't heard of a man named Peter Drucker, I recommend you look him up and read his book called The Effective Executive. In that book, he talks about how knowledge, data, information is the asset of the knowledge worker. He wrote this book about 50 years ago, and this was the time when there was a shift from manual labor to more knowledge work like we do. And so in my role, it's very important that I have all the information that I can so that I can assess as a business where we are now, where we want to go, and how we can get to that place. So the next question that I'm going to ask is kind of an amalgamation of two questions that I received, and I'll kind of paraphrase it by saying, what is the biggest bottleneck that I see that impedes our progress as an organization? And to answer that question, I would say that it's playing the he said, she said, or the finger pointing game. There's generally, I think, and this is normal and this is in all organizations, lack of ownership at times, and we see this in our communications between ourselves and Hoofddorp. We see this in our own meetings in our own region. And if we can get past that, if we can start taking more extreme ownership of situations that come our way, instead of just saying, no, it's his responsibility, try and take part in allowing that person who should be the beneficial owner to respond, give them more information than they need so that they can do so effectively. And like I always say, try and win as much goodwill from your fellow teammates, your fellow employees as possible, so that they'll do you a solid in the future when you do them a solid in the present. And we're here, 580 Cal. Got here, did some OKR training with Ellie. Overall, a productive day. Now, if this had been a more normal day where I was home, not traveling, the end of the day for me is spent, again, catching up on emails. So if you notice the pattern, the beginning of the day, dedicated to emails, the end of the day, dedicated to emails. And this comes down to something that I said in my last Q&A, which is about information. Information is the asset that I trade on. It is what helps me to understand where we are now on a micro and a macro level. It helps me to determine where I think we need to go from an existing client portfolio standpoint. And it also helps me to fill in the details of how is it that we're going to get there, step by step. For the last question, and that question is, how do you quickly build rapport with merchants? And I actually disagree with the question, but I'll answer it in a different way. I don't think you can quickly build rapport with merchants. You can be, kind of friendly and outgoing, and you can smile and you can ask about their interests, and you can do all of these things to be charming and charismatic. And those are definitely learnable. You can do them. But in terms of adding value to the relationship, it's about repeatability. It's about creating a track record of success, about being the organization that's there for them, being the organization that can provide them with the actionable intelligence that allows them to process payments in a way that has the maximum amount of value add. How good is their conversion? What does the platform uptime look like? What is the data that we're providing them on a regular basis that allows us to be the payment processor of choice? And I want to show you guys something. It's about 5:45 here on a Monday. Something else that makes us the payment partner of choice, something else that builds rapport with clients over time, is having people in the office like Tim, like Aditya, working hard. Aditya, there you are. Working hard, working late, so that we can always provide value. North Am. Made it to the hotel, just wrapped up dinner with Kelly, Andrew, and Brennan. I don't have any more questions to answer, but I did want to send out a bundle of gratitude to everyone that's watching this. Thanks for watching, and thank you for sharing your feedback. Was this helpful? Is this something that you think that we should continue to do with people in different departments? Let us know. Let me know. Let me know if there's anything that you want me to personally elaborate on that you saw in this video. And talk to you soon. Done.